After his eyeball, you can see he's got a big puffy eyebrow on top. Kind of looks like one of those cheese puffs. I don't eat them, but my dad does, so I know what they look like. And right next to his eyebrow is one of these ears that's kind of a big, twisty, upside down raindrop. I know that's a lot of things all in one. But we can see that there's a big curve on the side, big S curve. And on this side, it's just a little bit flatter, not as much curviness happening. That's the inside, the pink part. I'll pause right there because I know it's a weird little shape. Kind of tricky to get down. And I'll make a little stripe that goes all the way around it, outside of the ear. You might hear my dog snoring in the background, just so you know that's not me. And then ignore all his cool mohawk hair for a second and just look at the shape of his head. It's just a nice big curve. So we'll go from this ear, gentle little hill, little curve, and go straight on down. Actually, not straight down, that would be that way. Diagonal down. Well, there's Stephanie. Let's let her in. Other Stephanie. Granny Stephanie. And then there's a little spike right on the end of his nose. So I'm going to make a little point and then round the bottom, just like an ice cream cone that's been stuck on its head. And there's Kristen too. Let's let Kristen in. This other ear, it's turning away from us. So you can see that it's the same height, right? It's not shorter. It's just skinnier than this one. So for this ear, it's going to come up and it's going to be skinny, skinny. It almost looks like a horn at first. It's just that pink part on the inside. And same thing, I'm just going to go right around, just like a stripe that goes all the way around. New thing here is going to get skinnier. That means my lines have to get closer together. Why? You might remember this thing. Things that are the same size, like my thumbs, when one gets closer, it looks bigger. And when it gets farther away, it looks smaller. Same thing happening here. This side is closer to us, and then that side is farther away. Gosh, my hands look a mess. Sorry about that. That's the reason why this is skinny. This is a little bit thicker. And then this one way over here that's the closest to us, this should be the thickest of all.
I really like this dragon design.
I can't take all the credit. It is inspired by the Society of Teacup Dragons or Tea Dragons, something like that. I think it's a comic book. I haven't actually read it, but they have some really cute dragon designs, so very inspiring. Stephanie, where are you, Granny? Granny Stephanie?
Yep, Granny is on the road coming back from a grandchild's place.
Okay, drive safe.
I will. I'm enjoying.
All right.
You might see me drop the phone when I see a cop or something. So
don't do this, kids. Once you get old enough to drive.
That's right. Right. Don't do what you see. Yes.
Yeah. So
that's a cute dragon. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And it's good colors too. I love it.
It's being recorded. You can do it on your own.
Oh,
I have faith.
I know. I quite feel, but I'm sure I will.
So I added a curve for his jaw, his cheek. It's going to come down here a little bit like a horse, almost like we were drawing a horse or a unicorn or something. And then we end in this lovely little dragon goatee, little beard. And then we'll put a little smile right underneath that horn that's like his nose, even though it does not help him smell in the slightest. And there's also a few more spikes that grow out the side of his face over here. So I'm just going to add a couple of points. Point, point, and point. Erase any lines that happen to cross into the inside of these spikes. And then we'll make the other side rounded. While you work on that, I'm going to let my dog out of the bedroom. Five o'clock is her dinner time, so that was a whole 12 minutes late. And then you may have noticed that the beard crosses right in front of the teacup opening. So our teacup is going to go right behind that little dragon beard. We're going to make a nice little oval here. Flat oval. I'm going to make a slightly smaller teacup this time because I want to be able to fit his tail on the other side. And if I make my oval too big, I won't have enough room on this side. Or I just grab another piece of paper and tape it together. That works too. I'm just going to make my oval a little bit smaller this time. Make myself lots of lines, get lots of options, and then erase all the ones I don't want. And same thing, just like I was talking about with the ear, the farther part is skinnier and the closer part is thicker. On the edge of this cup, the thin part is at the back. So those lines are very, very close together, almost touching. And when we come around to the front, they're going to be farther apart. It's going to be thicker here. That's going to help it look 3D and awesome. It's not easy though, so I'm going to pause here a second, let you work out your thicknesses. Thick in the front, skinny in the back. Then we'll draw the sides of the teacup going down. And you can make your teacup whatever shape you want. You've been drawing a lot of teacup dragons. If you want to make it more curvy and fancy, go right ahead. I'm going to stick with the basics. Whenever we start a new month, I try to go back to the basics so you can draw easily and comfortably without having to worry about all these new things that I'm always throwing at you. So I'm just going to make it look like a giant jumbo marshmallow. And one very important thing, you might have noticed it already, this curve right here, which was kind of flat, this one got curvier as it went down.
That's because that one is closer to the horizon line, right? If I remember
Yes, correctly. The flatter ones are closer to the horizon line, and this one's farther away. You can probably see this for yourself when you hold some kind of cup, that this is very flat, that top of the line, and then this one's very curved. That just happens in everyday life, so that's how I'm drawing it. And this time, instead of having the handle sticking out the side like we normally do, I've twisted the cup around so that the handle is facing us. So this handle is going to only come out a little bit of the side there. Just a little backwards.
A crockery cup.
A crockery cup?
Yeah, you know, like in Chinatown, you buy a tea set and they have just a little whoa truck, little thing you hold on.
You make me so nervous when you're doing this. Whoa truck.
That truck had just jumped off the road. So anyway.
But yes, probably. I was just looking up random teacups on the internet, but it could very well be a crockery one.
Looks like it. Looks nice.
So for this handle, I'm going to make the thickness with another line. But it's not going to touch the others. It's going to float there for a second. Might be able to see on this one, might not. I made the mistake of using a water marker. And of course, if you're using watercolor with a water marker, your markers just erase and get blurry. But we're going to have this curve all the way around. Overlap. We love overlapping because it shows us what's in front and what's behind. So by having this line go over these, we can tell that this part of the handle is close to us and this part is far away. Or farther away, not like miles away. I'm going to go back to my dragon. Looking at the head here, you can go draw lightly right through the ear so that you know where the neck comes out on the other side. This side of the neck is going to go right behind the teacup, so that'll just be a short line there. And this one's got a big furry or maybe feathery chest. I'm not sure, but it does have some texture. I'll add another layer of those little lumps, little scalloped edge there. I think I might change this one to laying down. I tend to draw big so you guys can see what I'm doing, and he's getting a little too big for this teacup. So I'm going to change the position of his legs and have them just straight out in front of him. If you'd rather do these standing legs, of course, you can just go ahead and copy my demo. I'm just going to draw his leg coming out this way. And I'll draw his other foot a little lower on the paper. And erase anything that's on the inside. Then let's add his wings. He's got one that comes up over the teacup and then one kind of folded to the side. So I'm going to start with the one that goes over the teacup. Comes right out of his face here and goes right into the teacup. Here's my first line. And that line is this one right here, this edge of the wing. So now I need to draw the back part of the wing. I'm just going to make a big shape like this to start out with. You can put another little spike right at the top if you want. And then I'm just going to put one more curve on the bottom here. And you might have this little white space right under his chin. If you follow your wing line all the way through his face and you get back to his body, you might be able to see a little bit right there. And you might be able to see, just like his fur and feathers has these bumps, I'm going to add those bumps to the bottom of his wings. So here's one bump, and we need a second bump to match that shape. Variation on a theme. And then we'll draw the other wing. If I went from this wing, the top of this wing, and I went right through his body all the way through and on the other side, that's where the other wing would start. I want them about the same height. And then it'll fold back down. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Little spike on the top. If you can't fit this shape on this side of the paper, you can go ahead and just make it go down a little more. That's fine too. Adding that other little bump at the bottom. And then connecting it back into his body. And I know that's a lot, so I'm going to pause right there until everybody gets their wings done.
Betsy, tell me how I get how do I find the recordings?
Well, it takes a while to put them up because my sister has to do them manually. So it'll probably be up by tomorrow, but it's on the JLI YouTube.
JLI YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, I can put the link in the chat, or else, or no, I can text you. I can text you the YouTube address.
If anybody wants to go to the website and there's a whole video tab.
Oh,
it'll
there
take
you
it
go.
all.
Okay.
Yeah, just the website videos.
Okay. Okay.
Even better.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then I'm going to add the tail that wraps around. If you think you might be able to see the rest of his body, maybe a little bit of his rump, his rear end right there, you can add it in. Or if you just want to draw the tail, that's fine too. But I know I want it to stop kind of in the middle of the teacup, so I'm going to start at the end of the tail with that little spike that's on the end. Another little raindrop shape. Then I'm going to try to get this raindrop to curve all the way back and connect to the body. So I've got my whole arm off of the table so I can move my pencil around from my shoulder. I don't want to be doing this and going all these little short strokes, and it makes it look furry. And even though this dragon has some fur, I don't want my outlines to look furry. I want them to be nice and smooth. The tail gets thicker at the body, of course, so I'm going to make it thick and the lines far away, and then they're going to get closer as they get to the tip. Give yourself lots of options and erase the ones you don't like. Last thing left.
Thank you, guys. I gotta unload the car.
Oh, all right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
2 more details. We've just got his hair to draw and then our little tag for the T. So for the T, I'm going to pretend this string is going right over the lip of my teacup. You can feel it going down, and then it lands on the table. And I make a little house shape as if this were the roof, and then the sides, and then the floor, or the ground line. And then just like a horse's mane or zebra mane, I'm going to have some hair spikes go all the way up his neck. All the way on top of the head. And anything on the inside, we'll just go ahead and erase. And then I had the hair go all the way down the back, just like we normally draw spikes along the back of a dragon's tail. I had this fur go all the way down. If you like it, you can add it. If you don't like it, don't do it. And go to about there. And we're going to go ahead and ink our outlines, but don't make my mistake and use a water marker. Don't do that. Got to get a Sharpie or something that says permanent ink. Or else you can go ahead and paint first and then do the outlines later. I used to do that also. I think that's why I never noticed that that marker was water-based. Right now I'm just erasing some of the extra pencil so that it doesn't mix in with my colors. And of course you can color your dragon whatever color you want. I used a light blue and a dark blue. Dark blue. Oh wait, I just said we were gonna ink, huh? Sorry. I got wrapped up in my old process. Let's grab a pen. And make sure it's waterproof. Yes. This is where I should turn on some drawing music. Let's see what YouTube's got for us.
Ah, there we go.
oops, I forgot the table line. If you want to have your dragon and teacup on a table, you just pick a spot above the feet and you can just draw a line. Lift your pen when you get to that stuff and then continue it on the other side. I'm going to pause here for about 4 more minutes and then start coloring. So if you're still working on your inks, no problem. This is also about the time I start thinking about what next term's classes are going to be, the classes from April until June. So if you have an idea and you're like, Betsy, I want to do Moana, or Betsy, I want to do more fairies, you can type it in the chat or you can unmute your mic and let me know. All right, unicorns and fairies, picture in a picture. Those were very fun. And for those of you that did the hatch laser carving into the wood stuff, that was super cool too. Just 1 more minute and then I'll start on colors. All right, so like I said earlier, I used a light blue and a dark blue for my dragon, but you can use a light color and a dark color of any color, pink or purple or green. Rainbow. I'm just going to use my blue again. My light blue for everything that's not fur or horns. I like to color in continuous ovals, just because sometimes when you go back and forth and back and forth and then back and forth and back and forth, where the two overlap, you get this dark spot. And if you color lightly in ovals and you just keep going around and around and around and around and around and you don't really stop, then it'll be a more even tone. So that's why I like to color that way. So you can see I'm just continually going in little ovals until it's all filled up. Of course, we're going to slap water on top of it anyway. But I like to share what I'm doing with you guys just in case. Then I'll use my darker color, my darker blue in my case, for the hair that grows on his back, his mane. And because that's such a small section that touches a lot of different parts, I'm going to go ahead and put water on it right away so it can dry while I'm coloring the rest of it. Unfortunately, this Bristol paper doesn't take water quite as well as watercolor paper does, so it's going to be a little smudgy. But that's all right. Use what you've got. Wrong blue. Using my dark blue on this fur over here too. And right away I'll put some water on it so it can dry while I'm coloring the other sections. Just careful not to splat your hand right in there. I've done that before. On the wings, if you want to add a little interior color, you can just color in a section right here by the folding part. And one more section, leaving a little bit of the lighter color in the middle. If you don't like that, don't do it. I'm going to color the second part of the chest in my darker color. And the legs in the darker color. But the toes, I think I'm going to use my lighter blue. If you want the claws to be, a different color, you can also just color in the tips and make little claws. And the inside of the ears, as soon as I color it in, I'm going to go ahead and add water so they can dry before I color in or water up the blue. I'm going to color in the eye with my ink pen and just leave a little spot of white. Oh, you know what else I forgot to draw? The T in this teacup. Put one more line across there. There's the T. Maybe some little ripples with the string. I use my light brown to color in the T, and I'm going to add water right away so that section can dry. If you want to see a little bit of the reflection of the dragon wing, you can touch your brush to one of your blue pencils, get a little bit of blue on there, and just kind of dab in some blue color.
Ooh.
Just a little bit. You can do it right under the goatee also. Just a little bit. If you have regular colored pencils, you just color right over on top of it. If the mane is dry, I think I can go ahead and add water to this wing. To the dark sections. And rinse out my brush. I don't mind too much if the colors bleed together, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put water on the light blue as well. Same thing on the other wing. I'm going to do the dark part first. Rinse out my brush. And I can come back and do the lighter blue. And while those wings are drying, I'm going to color my teacup. I like to use a color that's really different from my dragon so that it'll stand out. So I'm going to get my red. And I'm going to do kind of a dripping color change along my teacup here. So I'm just going to make a wavy line. And the top is going to be red. Of course, you can just make your teacup all one color, or if you really like those gold effects that we do, you can do gold, or you can do polka dots or hearts. It's your teacup, you can do what you want. Right on the handle too. Then I'm going to get my orange and do another layer of dripping color. And just so you know, we have about 25 minutes left. Should be plenty of time to get these dragons colored. And for the bottom of the cup, I'm going to use my dark brown. And I'll also use my dark brown for the back of the cup here. Or you can also just use whatever color you used on the top. And I'll go ahead and add water to my dragon. forgot to color all the spikes. You can color the spikes yellow if you want, or gray, or blue, or pink, or purple, or green, whatever color you think would look good.
Oh, hey, Betsy, I'm gonna leave our class
Okay.
early.
No problem. See you Friday.
All right. All right, I had fun. See you Friday. Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, is that an art program you want?
Bye. Hold on, wait.
Huh?
I'm only coloring part of his spike so that I can have a darker color on one side, and then I'll just use the water to make it a little bit lighter on the other side. You don't have to do that. It's just one of the things you can do. We have about 15 minutes left. Wish I had a purple, but I don't. So I'm going to make the tablecloth green this time. Careful as you're coloring around your dragon. It might still be wet. And before you add water to your teacup, just make sure that your dragon is dry so your colors don't mix together. About 10 minutes left. Put a tiny bit of blue on that T tag just so that it's not such a bright white. But I'll have to wait a minute until this part's dry before I can do the green tablecloth. All right, I'm gonna try doing my tablecloth. Hopefully it's dry. And if you like to keep track of which tea dragon this is Earl Grey tea. Ooh, somebody's got some audio going there. Just 5 more minutes and then we're going to take a look at everybody's. Oh, did I hear a question? No? Okay. So it's going to be 5 more minutes and then we'll take a look at everybody's work.
But Miss Bessie, I'm already done.
Wow.
Oh, well then go ahead. Let's see it. Can you hold it up to the camera? Oh,
my gosh.
wonderful.
Oh, that dragon is great.
I
He's
love
got
all those
hearts all around him. You love that dragon too, don't you? Oh, he's
Nice
such a
job.
pretty thing.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
that's
You're
right.
You're right.
Almost Valentine's Day.
Excellent. Well, since you're done already, you're excused if you need to leave early and get some dinner. I understand.
But if you get a chance to send that in, then we can have that in our art show that's going to be in the summer. Take a picture and send it.
Just about 3 more minutes.
Watch this year's big game ads on Ad Blitz, a YouTube exclusive.
I'm done.
All right, let's take a look. Let me spotlight for everyone. Oh, look at him. I like the orange for the dragon.
Yeah, I wanted a different color. I have 2 green dragons. And I
Yeah.
have 2 orange ones already. I just have my little array of dragons.
Yeah, very cute. Callista, are you finished? Still working on it. You still have 1 more minute if you need 1 more minute.
I gotta sign mine.
Oh, look at that. Your dragons are always so
Oh.
adorable.
My cup is like an ice cream cup. So here's the melted ice cream, and then these are the sprinkles.
Oh,
Oh,
what an idea.
so good.
Excellent. Love
Ice
it.
cream cup.
And let's see. Oh, they're working on it. I like it. I like it. He has a nice strong chin, nice good goatee there.
Excellent. Yeah, the goatee is great. The wings are good.
Yeah, wings are really nice too.
So we gotta have everybody send them in, send them in.
I know. As soon as you get them all finished, take a pic and email them
Yes,
into
take
our
a
next
picture.
art
You
show.
don't have to send actual things.
Yeah, we're not dealing in actual artwork right now, but yeah, 6:25. So we will go ahead and call class finished, and I will see you all next week.
So are you still there?
I am.
Was just Nikki at the first one?
Yes. Bye.
Bye. See you guys next week.